Well, very far away from all those snowy scenes, the heat wave is just set to continue across much of the UK, of course, and there's a Met Office amber weather warning in force. Second highest level of alert for extreme heat. That's valid from Thursday through to the end of the day on Sunday for most of England and into eastern Wales. Now, temperatures could get as high as 35 to 37 degrees Celsius, not the exceptional record-breaking heat that we saw back in July, more of a sustained period of very hot and, of course, a very dry weather. That's going to be uncomfortable for most and, of course, dangerous for some. Always a bit more refreshing towards coastal areas where we will see a developing sea breeze. Temperatures towards the south coast at the moment, we just recorded 29 degrees Celsius earlier on today. But for most, blue sky and strong sunshine, temperatures rising as high as 34, 35 degrees Celsius maybe for parts of the Midlands on Thursday. Now, it's always going to be a little cooler towards eastern coastal areas, perhaps a bit cloudy at times for East Anglia as well, with that hot air moving in from the near continent, of course. If we do see 4 consecutive days of temperatures over 35 degrees Celsius, and that will certainly happen, I think, on Friday, highs of maybe 35 to 37 degrees, that will be the first time that it's happened since the long, hot summer of 1976. If we take a look at Saturday, again, we'll be looking at temperatures widely in the low to the mid-30s in Celsius, maybe 37 degrees Celsius. Where's it most likely to happen? Well, probably across central southern England, maybe parts of Hampshire, down into Surrey as well, perhaps Wiltshire, 37 degrees Celsius. Now, here are the temperatures for the capital cities as we head through the next few days or so. If we take a look at Sunday, you can see we're starting to see a bit of cloud just edge in from the south, and that heralds the change that we're going to see into the start of next week. So some more unstable feeling air. It could send us some heavy thundery downpours, so the chance of some rain. At last, it's not reliable rain, but a bit of wet weather for places that just haven't seen any.
Afternoon to you. It's very warm out there. By mid-morning, we were already at 24 Celsius. And from tomorrow, right the way through until the end of Sunday, 4 days of a Met Office weather warning of extreme heat for us across London and the southeast. So that warning isn't in force through the day today, but it is very, very warm out there. And temperatures by this afternoon could be into the low 30s Celsius. Could see 30 or 31 degrees. 30 is 86 in Fahrenheit.
Let's return now to Sally at Wisley Gardens. Sally, this drought not great for their gardens or anyone's gardens.
No, not ideal, but I love a good news story when it comes to climate change. It's all about adaptation, and look at this fabulous place here. This is an exotic garden. Now, normally a lot of these plants would be in a different country or grown under glass, but they are thriving. And the man who's behind it is Matthew Pottage, who you might have heard on Gardener's Question Time if you're in for that. You're the curator here. Matthew,
hi,
congratulations, first of all.
Thank you.
Why did you decide to do this? And you must have been so thrilled with what's going on.
We're really happy with the results. This is in its 5th year. We know that Wisley is generally a hot and dry garden, so the exotic garden here was a bit of a trial and error. We wanted to experiment with things. Some things we knew would do well, some things were just completely new to us outdoors. Yeah. And the results are, well, you can see for yourself.
I mean, it's just gorgeous. I'm bringing everyone down here because look at this tree. Now, here's one of the little things that fell off earlier. Look, I mean, it's just like a little fairy one, isn't it beautiful? I mean,
so
it's thriving.
Pretty. It's a Persian silk tree, Albizia, and they just love heat. They need heat into growth, heat to get them to flower. And, you know, this is a real tree of the future in the southeast.
And then you've got this one here, which you told me has come from Brazil, and the bees, never mind our plants, they're loving it.
Look at this. Yeah, this is a jelly palm. And just again, it needs heat for meaningful growth.
Yeah.
Loads of new fronds here, and well, it speaks for itself.
It's
absolutely
amazing.
Incredible.
Let's go down to the bananas, because they've actually got some little ones on it. They're not for eating, but you thought these would never survive the bees from the east, but they are also having a ball.
Look at them, look at them. And we only actually wrapped up 50% of these in the winter, because you know what we thought? If Mother Nature thins them out, that'll be okay, because look how many there are. There's a proper grove. They'll be coming up in the path soon, and they all survive. There's a lot of them.
They're having a blast. And what's so lovely, of course, about this is you get this canopy, and this is the kind of thing we're going to need in the southeast, isn't it?
Doesn't it feel cooler just standing
it's
here?
So much cooler. The other thing that's, I think, worth talking about is that as well as drought, we're going to get more flash floods. So what are you guys going to do for that? Will this survive that?
It's dealing with these extremes. So at the moment, we're digging a huge rainwater capture lake, which is connected connected to one of our new buildings.
Wow.
Because when these rains do come, we need to be able to capture them. It's going to be attached to our main irrigation system, so we can then wisely use that water at Wisley, where it'll be much needed.
So it's not all about lavenders then?
No, it's not all about Mediterranean planting, because, you know, the winters are getting wetter. It's about coping with extremes.
Okay, all right. Well, listen, Matt, thank you so much. Honestly, it's worth a look here. It really is stunning and some lovely shade. And now I'm going to head out here into the sunshine for the weather. See you in a sec. Well, this is what we're used to, isn't it? These beautiful flowering English gardens. And I wonder if these very well-trained ducklings are noticing the lack of water that we've had. Over the next few days, increasingly hot, loads of sunshine. And did you get the memo? Very dry. Let's take a look at the extreme heat warning in case you missed it earlier. From tomorrow through until Sunday, our temperatures getting up into the mid-30s, and there are concerns about people's health and some safety issues as well, such as fire risks. So do take care. Into the outlook, you can see those temperatures continuing to climb both by day and by night, and we will let you know if there's any showers on the card as soon as we hear. Right, that's it from us all here at the beautiful RHS Wisley. Have a super evening. Cheerio.
Matt, strange seeing snow scenes, wasn't it? And here we are so hot and dry.
Exactly, far removed from what we've got at the moment. Northern Ireland, in fact, today had their warmest August day since 2003. Elsewhere, we saw temperatures soar yet again. Another day above 30 degrees. And look what's just to come through the rest of this week. Not only does it get hotter, but we could see a string of days above 35 degrees, exceeding what we saw in 1976.
Let's return to the heat wave once again. And although many will be wanting to enjoy the sunshine, we are being warned to do so safely, particularly around water, because there have been several drownings this summer already. Well, Alex is in Brighton for us tonight. Alex.
Yeah, very good evening to you, Charlene. Yes, we've been on Brighton Beach for much of the day, and we're pretty much halfway through the summer holidays. As you can imagine, lots of family on the beach earlier today. And of course, it's been pretty hot. Temperatures have been around 29 degrees Celsius. So of course the temptation, and of course you should jump into the water and enjoy it. But we also need to realise that there are some hazards when we step into open water. For instance, today we've had an offshore breeze which can actually carry you out fairly quickly. Earlier today I was lucky enough to catch up with the RNLI for more on water safety.
We urge everyone, if you go paddleboarding or kayaking, take a buoyancy aid or a life jacket, take a means of calling for help. But we also have noticed a lot of people getting stuck on inflatables. So if you do get stuck on an inflatable, just remember to stay with the inflatable, call for help if you've got a means of calling for help on you, call for 999, ask for the Coast Guard. The sea is really unpredictable, so check the tide times, check the weather forecast. Even if it's a bright sunny day, the weather in the sea can turn very quickly. So take time to understand the environment and those risks that you're heading to as well.
But of course, we'll all be keeping a watchful eye on the forecast as we head through the next few days. We are a few days into the heat wave, and as we know, warnings have certainly been issued to help keep us all safe as we head through particularly through that Thursday into Sunday period. And as you can imagine, with this, high levels of UV, so even if you're going to be out and about for short periods of time, make sure you do protect yourself. Looking further ahead at the rest of the week into the weekend, as we know, temperatures expected to peak as we head towards the weekend at 35, maybe 36 degrees. Well, that's it from Brighton Beach. As you can imagine, with the sun still shining, plenty of people here, Charlene, soaking up the last rays.
All right, thanks very much, Alex.
Matt, we know it's going to be hot over the next few days, but what can we expect?
Yeah, perfect evenings for that, to be honest, Sonia, but more of this. Blue skies overhead. Found a little bit of greenery, of course, by the Thames today, but let's just take a look at what's happened to our landscape during the summer. This is what it was like in May, and there's satellite imagery from NASA. You can see how green it looked. Fast forward to today, the parched landscapes there, extreme fire danger across our region at the moment. Everything is so dry. And of course, from tomorrow, we've got a Met Office extreme heat warning coming into force all the way through to Sunday. Expect some travel and heat impacts from that. It is set to get hotter than it was today. We've got high pressure in charge, but a little area of low pressure starting to build towards the west of France. Now, winds flow around that in an anti-clockwise direction, so it brings more of a southeasterly wind. That will pick up the humidity a little bit and also the temperatures. We lose that cooler northeasterly breeze that sort of with us at the moment, and we'll see temperatures lift up to around 36, maybe 37 Celsius as we head through Saturday and indeed Sunday. Lots of sunshine to go with it, although through Sunday we'll start to see increasing amounts of cloud. The chance of 1 or 2 storms around potentially. We need weeks of rain though, and whilst it turns cooler next week, it will still be warm. And it's worth pointing out, Sonia, that the nights will be pretty warm as well. From tonight onwards, temperatures not dropping much lower than around 17 or 18 degrees. That's us looking. Back to you.
Gosh, Matt, thank you. And that's about it from us.